around? Come on, smash that like button. We gotta get to work. Oh, aren't you all as curious as me? As how bad it actually is behind this window? You know what works really good for these little lock clips here? For the wiper, blade, motor, whatever you want to call it, is a pair of needle nose. I mean, the right tool works really good, but if you don't have it, a pair of needle nose works pretty freaking great. Sometimes you gotta think outside the box. Look at it. Yep. So many pieces fancy back in the day. This would have been plastic on the new cars. Sometimes these old wipers can be tricky. It's not that they're tricky, it's just they've been on there for 40 years. So, before we pull this off, how bad do you think it's gonna be? I mean, it's gonna be bad. Like, it's all rusted here and here and here and all the way down there. I'm really surprised the window hasn't just fallen out, but woo, yes, I'm extremely surprised the window. Want to be careful, I don't want to put no dings in the chrome. Really surprised the window hasn't fallen out. Oh, look at that. It's solid right here. Oh, wait till you see this. Look. No, right here's what I'm talking about. That's nice, huh? Now you gonna beat that? You can't beat that is what I'm trying to say. Oh, you know. Look at it. That's pretty nice too. Well, who knows how nice it is once we get poking at it. But they make for good tool holders, that's for sure. Look, this side's a little better. Yeah, look, it's solid from here all the way to here. Yeah, that's a solid 10 inches. 6 inches. It's fine. What do you think that's for? A chrome clip, probably? Probably. You know, sometimes you gotta look at the bright side. Like, I'll show you. We just saved some time taking this off because, well, we didn't have to remove that screw. Well, you're not going to believe it, but this side's just a little bit more solid. And, well, the head is stripped right out on this. But I was actually able to get it to turn. The only next downfall is she's just a turner. So maybe I don't want to mess up the chrome. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, there's our screw that holds it in, or what's left to it. We're gonna save on this, you know, we want to keep this car as much of original as we can. Trying to keep the value of it up, you know. Oof, ma. That seems normal. So how do you think this upper chrome comes off? You don't just want to pop, like it had 2 screws right here, but this one's gone, so I just popped the screwdriver behind it and popped it, but it don't seem to want to move. I'm guessing it probably clips into I don't want to bend it. I think it clips into the gasket because a lot of old cars, they'd be like that. So with that being said, I think what we're going to do is just take the whole window out maybe and then try to get it. Look at this gasket. So we haven't spent a lot of money on this car, and I think we're going to spend money on gaskets when that time comes. So in order to get this out, I believe I have to take this off, the bottom. I already pulled the upper part off. Yes, there's rust up there. But it'll be fine, don't worry about it. Look at her, she's just happy we're fixing on it. Yeah, she's just a happy girl, ain't she? So, I'm gonna pull this off. And if we have to, we'll just cut the gasket with a razor blade. That way we can get everything out and not break the chrome. That's the plan, at least. While we're pulling all these out, let's talk about these access panels on the doors that I had y'all vote on last episode. The majority of you said I should count them because I made them as patches. And I mean, like, the majority of you said that. Now, the ones that said I shouldn't count them as patches, well, you made good points. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna count them. It's no biggie to me. Although I am gonna count the mount that we made for the door brace bracket. I'm also gonna count the mount that I made for the air duct. Why? Because most of you that said I shouldn't count it said I shouldn't count the access panels for the doors because, well, they screw on, they don't weld on. So with that being said, I built the bracket, or the mount for the door, and I welded it to the other half of the mount. So therefore that got welded together and pieced together. So that was a panel, or however you want to put it, a patch. I put it on the list. And well, the mount for the air duct, yeah, that was a mount, but it was also cut and welded on. So these are so freaking nice for the outside of the car being so rotted. So with that being said, we won't count the 3 access panels. It is what it is. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I know, honey. We fix you all up. You'll be fine. You'll be dancing again. I have reused my share of old gaskets. Let me tell you, I've helped my brother a few times put his Jeep windows in them old J trucks and Wagoneers, and they're not fun. They sort of pinch around, sort of like this is doing. But I don't think if we wanted to, we could. I don't think we could reuse this one even if we wanted to try. I mean, anything's possible with a lot of silicone. Look, it's still got old cardboard box hanging around from manufactured something or another, refrigerated, I don't know what it says. But I believe that was for the gasket that went around the inside of the door. It was ugly, and maybe the headliner stapled to it a little bit. I don't know, but we still got a bunch of it. I don't know what it is or what it's from. Some type of food. I know that much because look, OOOD. So I believe it was food, or, well, I don't know, that says good. So I got no clue. Anybody know? I'm just going around slicing it with a razor blade. I don't know if I'm cutting it in the right spot yet, but it seemed like the right thing to do. So, I know the screen's got a little spot that keeps showing up. I'm freaking sorry. Oh man, I don't want to do that. Oh wow, that looks really, really bad. I'll show you when we get the window out. You're just gonna have to hold in there and wait. Oh, I apologize. I know the screen's messed up. I'm gonna get a new camera. I gotta make it to the store. I gotta order one. Those things aren't cheap, I tell you. You know what it's from? It's from getting you so close in on the action. I think it got a little welder flare. Hit the funny bone. Hit the funny bone. It wasn't funny. Jeez. Well, now that we got all the gasket, I believe the window should just pop out. I should probably go get help for this. So I went around and I'm just slightly jiggling the window all the way around. I think we finally got it broke free. And I got a couple of these suction cups, but I don't really trust them. One, they're old. Two, they're freaking cheap ones. And I don't really want to take a chance of breaking this window because here's the thing. I'm going to get new gaskets, yes. And I'm going to replace some of the windows. But depending on how well the paint and body actually come out on this car will depend if I spend the extra money just to replace all the glass. My car, my choice. If the body comes out phenomenal and the paint looks great, then awesome, sweet. We did an extra good job. The car deserves a little bit extra. If it comes out, you know, mediocre, a 2020, you know, thing looks awesome, 20 foot away, 20 miles an hour, well, that's fine. We'll probably leave the crack in the back window. If you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm in here and I figured I'd show you. I'm gonna pull the air duct system because that way I can put a stool there and I can step up in here and grab this. I'm right-handed, so with that being said, I would rather grab it from this side than the other side, and eventually I gotta take that stuff off anyways. The other side wasn't even screwed on. I just reached in here after the whole fender was off and we just whoop, lifted the whole thing up. This one, well, we didn't get so lucky. Two of the screws are gone, or one of the screws. I don't know how many hold it in. Three it looks like. So one's missing. One's a 10 mil, and the other one's a flathead. So that's pretty cool. Well, it only had a couple screws in it, just the two. It was missing all the rest. So that made life a little easy. And then this front one's sort of just in here by pressure. Here. Not bad. The one from the last episode, well, when we turned her upside down, she dumped out like a half a coffee. This stuff's so nasty tasting. Half a coffee can of freaking rust. Well, now that we can get in there better, let's see if we can get the window out. Sometimes your old suction cups just need a little bit of liquid on them. Not a lot, just a little bit. Oh yeah, there she goes. I still don't trust lifting it with them. Woo, see? Would you try, if I lifted it, poof, the dang thing would have dropped. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't trust them. Maybe if they were brand new or they weren't like $3 each. To be honest with you, I think I got them used at like a garage sale or something when I bought a bunch of other tools. She's ready to come. Oh, is this scary. Should have took the inner fender off. I mean, I guess if we break it, that just means the old girl gets a new window. How strong? Oh, look, she's heavy. Nice. Woo. Hey man, I use those insulated pads you sent in. I just don't use them as like knee pads because, well, they make my knees itch. But man, I use them for freaking door pads, glass pads, these things. Feller sent them in a long time ago. And I got the wheel covers for when we paint a little car. They just didn't work for the last couple. Thanks, man. I do appreciate everything everybody sends in. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, it comes right off now. But we don't want it to bounce around because we don't want to ruin this chrome, I'm telling you. How's that freaking, it pinches in there. I bet you somebody's, oh wow. No, look at that. That's in there deep. I didn't think it was that deep. What were you guys watching? In the back of my head, I am so sorry. I'm a horrible camera operator. So, that's crazy. I didn't think it was. That's in there deep. Look, did you guys not see that one good? Watch. Look at it. Hold on. You know what? I was thinking about it, and you're right. It's a budget build. I think with a tube of window caulk, we can just we'll caulk it back in. It'll be fine. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Got her all vacuumed up. She looks a little better. Well, she don't really look better. She looks better because she don't have all the crumblies on her. She's pretty freaking toast is what I'm trying to say. But look, the inner flange where the window sits, well, it's kind of good here and there. Not so much there, but right there. So that's cool. We do have some rot up top, but we sort of knew about that beforehand. What? Where is it? Well, it's gone. So I guess we got to fix that, and we got to fix all of that. And this corner is going to be a mystery because I don't really have a whole lot to work off of. The other side's got a little bit more metal, so we'll be able to guess a little bit more. So I guess we'll try to do the passenger side first, and we'll make it sort of mimic the driver's side because, well, I wouldn't have guessed this came out that far because the other side, it's like, it ends like it's gone. It's not there. But we'll get it. Nothing to worry about. It's not a big deal. So I've decided. The door closes so good. How is this car so rusty, but yet the door just closes? All four of them. Either way, that's a different time, different story, different whatever. We're pulling the inner fender off. Yes, I should have pulled it off before I pulled the window out because it would have gave me more room. Did I do it? No, obviously. But I don't want to fix this inner fender. Look at, I know I haven't bought nothing for this car and we've made every single patch, but like gone, bunch of filler. We pulled off a huge chunk of fiberglass on the last episode. Gone. Somebody actually pop riveted a patch over that rust hole probably 35, 40 years ago. Gone. That's where the battery tray connects. This corner's gone and it's all crispy up through there. Well, that one might unbolt. That's for the fan, but well, nope, there's a rust hole. And well, the whole bottom's gone. So, that's a lot of work for a freaking stupid inner fender. But we'll see. I don't know. Right now I'm fighting bolts because, well, that's not the right one. And that is no longer the same size as that. And it's, well, it's not really a, look at, it's not really a freaking, oh, check this out. Nice, right? Well, I guess that made easy work of disconnecting the battery tray from the inner fender. That's we just saved ourselves time. Freaking check it out, the fan came unbolted. Do you think this is any good? It wasn't connected at all. Oh, look at that. Freaking mud nest. Look, it's still got a bunch of freaking nasty stuff in it. Dead spiders and stuff. You see that? That's not creepy or nothing. There's another one in there. Can you see it? Alright. Well, the fan unbolted super easy. I couldn't believe that. These last, I left the last couple for us all. Oh. We should probably put a brace or something to hold this Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Well, that was easy enough. Look. Freaking fabulous, huh? Oh, look at, they pop riveted it. Nice. Think about that. I didn't even know. It's fine. Hey, look. At least the body mount's okay. Yeah, I had a question with all the body filler and roofing flashings we found in this body on this car. The frame looks so nice. I've really been thinking about this frame, and well, I gotta stop thinking about it because it scares me a little bit with the amount of filler and fiberglass sheets and all the other mystery materials we found in this thing. Do you think it's actually not as nice as it looks? No, you're right. You're right. It's definitely, it's fine. It's just, it's okay. We ain't nothing to worry about. That'll be okay. Yeah. Check this thing out. Not sponsored. I literally, it was like I think it was like 17 bucks on eBay. It was really cheap. But and it's got a long cord. You just plug it into a battery. And I'll show you. You think this fan works? This is the one that was off of it. It wasn't hooked up. It was completely unhooked. The heater core is unhooked. Everything was unhooked. But check this out. This thing's so cool. Where can we ground to? Somewhere. Hold on. Think it's gonna kick on? We only got 11.9 volts. Well, it's got 12-ish. It's fine. But you hit the button and I can send juice through it. I used to do this with a battery. That probably wasn't a good idea. Not 20 volt. Oh, it works. That's super cool. Either way, if you don't have one of these, you should go get one there. I wish I bought one of these a long time ago. Think about it now. If you don't know if your power window works or something, you can go up and down with it. I don't know. It's pretty freaking cool. I was surprised that thing kicked on. You remember all the nests we took out of it? Like I said, this ain't sponsored. This is what I bought. It was like $17. It was stupid cheap. Comes in really handy. Really handy. Multi-function drive tester. Either way, I just wanted to share that with you in case any of you wanted one. Check it out, I gotta show you something. I didn't feel like recording last night, but I wanted to play, so I just grabbed some scrap pieces. I don't have the right, I think you need like a tipping die or something. I don't know. I'm using a step die. Like I said, I just wanted to play. I didn't feel like being on the camera, and I didn't feel like cutting and grinding. So I decided to grab some scrap metal. What do you think? This is the one I started with. I don't even really like it. It almost looks like a weave-in basket design though. Like, it's cool, but I didn't like the way that looked. So then I decided we'd do some diamond stitch, and I thought it came out pretty good for just playing real quick. Yeah? Well, after I did this piece and I was like, well, that came out really freaking nifty. I was like, well, let's try something a little different, like 50-50 or 60-30 or 60-40. I'm a little off on my math today, so I just drew a random squiggly line. I'm sorry, it's hard to see, I think. I drew a random squiggly line, and we did a little bit of checkers on the one side, and then, I don't know, fish scale, alligator scale, lizard scale, whatever, something dragon. It's a freaking dragon is what it is. Does that look like a checker design or like a plaid design? I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool for just playing, so I figured I'd show you all, and now look. I'm not gonna lie, this is oh wait. Do you remember a couple weeks ago when I asked what these freaking things are for? You know, like if it was a newer car, you would assume that it would have wires going through it to a power window or something, right? But I couldn't figure out what they were. And then last week, while we were working on it, I found a rubber hose that went into it, but I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't investigate no further. I just jammed a screwdriver in the end of it, and because it was clogged. And that's how I realized it was a hose. And well, once we got cutting the window out, check this out. It's got a freaking drain in there. So I guess moisture or whatever from the inside of the, I'm just guessing, from the inside of the window or whatever would come down in the channel right here, and it would catch it, and it was supposed to go through this little, there's one on each side, go through the little drain, follow that hose down, and the hose stuck out here. And that stuff would just drip down, which probably is a big reason why the corner of these fenders are almost all rotted off. Then again, I don't know. Why is the rockers and the rear quarter bottoms and... Never mind. Either way, check it out. This is way more solid than I thought. Yes, it's bad. It's really bad. And once we start poking at it, it's going to be even more bad. But, look. Now we got a huge patch to do in here. Focus. But the freaking channel is solid. Way more solid than I thought it was going to be. Like, we could have almost patched some of these with the window in. It would have been a pain. The window had to come out either way to get the corners. This is the worst section. Because, well, it's gone. And this is the only section that's rotted on the inside, too. So this whole side will be a lot more fun than the other side. And I was also poking at this mount, and well, she's rotted a lot further, a lot more. Either way, we gotta stop talking about this and get to work. Look, you didn't miss nothing. I just took a scrap. Look at this piece of metal. It's all mangled, and I don't freaking know where it even came from. But I took a scrap piece of metal so we can play for a minute. That way we can try to figure out, here's the thing. I obviously, I'm not gonna make this in one piece. Would be really cool, but my machines aren't that big, for one. For two, I think it'd be silly to just cut all this out because, well, the window fits in right now, right? And all we really have to focus on is each of the corners. If I go cut all this out, then I have to make sure that we make the piece exact and make it fit back in here perfect. And yes, we could have an issue with the window. With that being said, what we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna just take a scrap piece of metal. Look how bent up that thing is. Yeah, we could probably make it work. Maybe we will if it comes out good enough and fits. But look at this. It sort of looks like it's got a little whoop in it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna run this thing through a bead roller. No, I'm gonna run it through the metal roller. I'm sorry. Click, my bad. Real quick, and we're gonna see if that does anything. Like I said, I'm just playing. Who knows if we'll even use this piece? I don't plan to use this piece. Look at it, I cleaned the freaking shop. Man, there was freaking piles of rust everywhere. Yeah, I even took all the stuff off of the top of the table and everything. I know, not important. Focus, 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 focus. Where are we? I gotta move this. There, now I'll get you in here a little closer. All right. I think it's got a little, oh, it's not that much. Oh, I should have rolled it before we cut it. See, we're learning. We're learning together. So now I should probably put a little roll in this thing, and then we'll cut the 2-inch strip off. Oh, we got it. Look, we're getting a little bit, see? I didn't think it was working. It don't really look like it's working in the middle. Heck, my handle get longer? Why are we? Wow. All right. We gave her a little roll, probably too much, but that's fine. Now let's put a little. Oh, we got it marked on the wrong side. Stay. Now we'll just put a little kick on it. Oh man. Give me a second. I don't have a tape measure with me. So we'll use the end of the freaking thing to measure. Is that the way to do it? No. Will it be fine? Yes. The piece is a little long, so. This piece is cut so crooked. That's not a 40. Helps when you clamp both sides down. Yeah, that's freaking looking fabulous, huh? Come on, let's go. Sometimes you got to play a little bit before you make your piece, because, well, this scrap piece can just get thrown out and we didn't waste nothing. Yeah, look at that. We probably should have tried to straighten the piece before we started doing all that. It's fine. We're not using this. I don't think. We might use this. Let's try to put it in the shrinker, huh? We'll shrink it. Yep, I'm game. So what this thing does is it pinches the metal together, and it'll hopefully give us a nice roundness to it. I haven't played with these a lot. Thanks again, Sam. I appreciate the donation. But there's only one way to try, and that's by doing it. Like, I played with this a little bit when I first got it, just because I wanted to check it out, but we've only tried to use it a little bit here and there on the body, so it'll be cool to see how this works. It's gonna be a lot of running back and forth to make sure, because we don't want, oh, look at that. We don't want to do it too much, and some spots don't get it as much as others. So to start with, I'm just gonna run this all the way down this thing, and oop, my handle came loose. We might be able to, if we have to, put the stretcher on this side to make our, I don't know, we're playing. It's only one way to find out how to do stuff, and that's by trying, right? Well, I mean, I guess there's other ways. Different strokes for different folks is what I'm trying to say. My best way to learn is by doing it. This is getting way more round than I think we need. And that's why we're using a scrap piece. Well, you know what? If nothing else, it's a fine example of what a shrinker does. That piece was almost straight. Now it's freaking turning into a circle. So, like I said, I'm not cutting all this out. We'll actually probably build pieces. Hold on. We'll probably build pieces like that big, and we'll leave these sections. Why? Because, well, then I have less of a chance of messing up my window frame and my window not fitting back in. So that, and this is good, and that's good. So why go cut it all out? You can buy this piece. It was like $500. Yeah, before shipping and tax. That's fine. So can you see the bend in that now? Like, that shrinker stretcher things, they do awesome. I'm thinking, you know, once we press it down, she's getting there. This flange is a little longer than we need, so we'll trim that up as we go. And if I decide to do that one big piece, we are almost there. I think we're gonna try to stretch the bottom. I don't know, I'm really guessing here because, like I told you, I haven't played with the shrinker stretchers a lot before. I've only owned them for a few weeks. So I'm guessing maybe if we stretch this, it'll help it lay back down a little flatter. And then we'll pinch this a little more closed in the spots. Right in here looks pretty good. Right here we need to, well, we need to make it swoop a little bit better. Yes, I'll build a stand or something for him eventually. You just need to realize, I only got so much spare time, and if I waste it building a stand for stuff, that's less time to work on the car. We all got the same 24 hours in a day, so you got to choose how to use your spare time. Now, I don't know how this is going to work, and that's a pretty good flange right there. I don't even know if it'll do that. What is it? Let's measure it. 1.5 inches. We don't need that. Well, some spots we do need that. And who knows? This thing might starting to come out good enough that we might actually use it. Like I said, we were just playing, but yeah, she don't go in all the way, but I don't know, let's try it. We'll go in as far as we can. Now this does leave marks on the metal, but you're gonna weld the metal in and you're gonna freaking grind it off, your weld's flat, and then you're gonna put filler over it anyway. So all these marks, all they're doing is making it so it's nice and easier for your filler to grab on. You don't want that stuff to fall off, do you? Is that doing anything? It's probably going the wrong way. This might be the wrong thing to do, but how do you know unless you try? Like I keep telling you, you guys got to try new things in order to get good at them. All right. So I don't know if that did anything, but hold on. We need to make it more of a banana the other way now. So now we'll put the shrinker back in, and I put a mark about halfway down. We're just gonna go to town on this whole half. I think I got about 6 inches too much, but that's fine. I don't think we're gonna replace that whole thing. Just pieces. Then again, I don't know. That's starting to look pretty freaking good, huh? I wish my machine would do the whole thing at once. Well, it don't matter. This whole thing will have a skim coat of filler, so. Well, it's just laying out a little bit too nice to not use the piece. So what I did is I cut a piece down to about what we're going to replace here. And now, like I said, I made this flange a little bigger than we needed. So we're going to layer up here approximately where there's a little lip right here. Just a little bit. And we'll lay it up to approximately there. And it's sitting on top of this lip. Now this piece, okay, let me backtrack. I'm so sorry. I got this piece and it's bent perfectly to that line. So what I'm gonna try to do is line these up like that. And then we're gonna line this up something like that. I need another hand. Will this work? I don't know. Don't look too promising because why would it be a different gap here to there? I don't know. Let's find out. We'll find out. Only one way to find out. It's a scrap piece, so if we don't use it, no biggie. Stop repeating yourself. Well, freak tell me what to do. It's my show. Repeat myself if I want to. Dang, we'll thin the metal out by stretching it out like that. Well, I guess that would have been punching it together. I don't know. Yeah, baby, look at that piece. Looks like we got just a little cute there where we said it was a little off. But that's fine. I think that looks good. We'll see if we can get a little more roll right here and a little... No, I like that side. All right. That's freaking awesome. It's a slightly too... I like it. That's good. That's nice. Well, look, I put it back in the brake and I gave it another little kick. And now what we're going to do is just going to try to round the edges a little bit. I feel like it's supposed to have a little swoosh right here, like a little swoosh. It just seems like it on the cowl. Sorry for all the ching, tang, tong. The better you make your piece fit, just like when you're making a template out of cardboard, the better you make your cardboard fit and your piece fit, the better it's going to look in the long run, and it's going to be easier to weld. Look, we're achieving what we want. So we only need a little bit. I just wanted to lay down a little better. So I'm really debating on taking the motor out of this. I don't want to take the motor out, but we have a rear engine leak. See, we need a little more whoop. A little more whoop right there. We have a rear engine leak. And I did the same thing with this piece. I kicked it. Now they're pushed up a little bit, but look, as soon as you push them down, everything will look good. It'll be a lot better. That little bit of pressure, probably good because it'll keep the metal up where we want it. Same thing with this one. It's got a little bit of, but look, as soon as we push everything down, it should be fine. We need a little bit more whoop right here. Besides that, this piece is looking pretty freaking good. And I just gotta trim these up just a little bit to make it a wee bit more rounder. And well, look at that. We weren't even trying. We were just playing around and we made 2 patches. So that's pretty freaking cool, huh? All right, back to work. That's your update. Wait a minute. I didn't finish. I got sidetracked. I was thinking about pulling the engine tranny out. One, because we got a rear engine leak of some sort. I don't know where it's coming. I thought it was coming from this oil line, so I threw a new one on there. But she's still leaking. And 2, well, I don't really want it freaking Chevy orange. So it would be pretty easy to paint it and clean it all up with it out of the car. And with the front end being this far off, I'm sure there's only a few bolts left and we could take the rest of this off and she would slide right out. Hey, do you remember back in the beginning when I told y'all, don't rip your project car all the way apart because, well, then it becomes a disaster and it becomes overwhelming. I'm not overwhelmed, but a lot of people would be at this stage. So don't do what I do and maybe do what we started doing, you know, like we cut all the rust out and added metal in here, and we cut all the rust out and added metal in there, and we put filler on it and we sort of painted it. Yes, it don't quite match and it still needs more sanding and fine tuning, but we were starting a project and finishing it. This thing freaking escalated as soon as we decided to do the floors. And well, now she's almost just a shell. We pull the rest of the glass off in the last couple doors and she will be a shell. Either way, you know, I thought I'd be sly and I'd just bend up that other piece for the center there real quick. And well, I tried a couple different things. Like I put that extra bend in it before we started to make this a horseshoe shape. And then I went and screwed up and I looked really quick and I was like, yep, that's the shrinker. No, this is the stretcher. So I started stretching my panel the opposite way, which is making it all wavy, which it don't matter. It's garbage now because, well, I bent it the wrong way. Yes, I probably could squeeze it back in, but I feel like with the whoopity-doos, it's just going to have whoopity-doos in it now. For the 15 minutes it took to lay this out, cut it, and get it that far, maybe 20 minutes, I'm just going to remake this because I feel like that's the better thing to do. I don't know, maybe we'll try to shrink it. I guess if we can re-shrink it. Or do we? No, I'm just gonna waste time. Okay, let's try that again. Figured I'll take you along on the adventure with me this time. Instead of the fast play. Whoop! It'll be fine. Quick roll in it, just a slight roll maybe. We got this thing way too tight now. Gave us a little bit. The only problem is I rolled it the wrong way, so we got to remark our freaking half an inch real quick, no biggie. Perfect. Did I tell you guys I'm dreading that inner fender? There's like... There's gonna be more patches in that inner fender than there are in both of the outer fenders. What? No way, y'all. I said the same thing. Ah! No, we want it that way, right? We actually did mark our marks on the right side and we rolled it on the right side. We almost bent it wrong. Sometimes you gotta slow down a little bit. We're not gonna, but sometimes you got to. Oh, look at it. This one's the shrinker. It's got arrows on it. It tells you I looked way too fast on the last one. And, well, whatever. It's no big deal. Don't get stuck on it and just get on to the next. You can sit there all day and worry about that piece that you screwed up and look at it and da-da-da-da-da. Or, what are we at? 3 minutes. 3 minutes and we're back to where we were. Oh, and it already looks better. It's not getting all freaking kinked. Look at that. Nice. Now we do need another kick at the bottom. Problem about putting the kick on now, we don't want to kink it. Whew, that's quite strong. Yeah, we're getting there, huh? All right, back to the shrinker, maybe. Yeah, baby. Let's see what she looks like. I think we got to take the stretcher now, seeing as we're working with the shrinker, and we got to stretch the bottom out. Yeah, right here, we'll stretch the bottom on this half. So we'll put our invisible mark right there. Were you in frame? Right there? That's where the invisible mark goes. And we're gonna stretch the other side. I'll build a stand, I will. I was actually trying to find when I bought these. Well, when a nice subscriber got me these, I was trying to get the stand with it from the store, but they stopped selling stands for them. So, like I said, we'll make one eventually. Maybe. But yeah, they had little stands with foot pedals back in the day. I don't know why they stopped making them. I'm sure I can get it online. I haven't looked yet. I don't know if I'd like the foot pedal. I sort of feel more in control. I don't know. Guess we won't know unless we try one, huh? All right, I give her lots of stretch on this side. This side, we're only going to give her a little stretch. The window's more curved on the further to the edge we get, the more curved the window is. Do you imagine this electric? Oh, that's... Do you think they make an electric one? Yeah, they probably do. They make everything. We'll go check it in a minute, but I already feel like we're gonna have to shrink it a little more. Sticker on the side of this says do not remove. Do you think it's like back in the day whenever they tried to scare you about removing the sticker on your mattress? Do y'all remember that? Like, oh no, you cut the sticker off your mattress, you're gonna get arrested and go to jail because it's illegal. That was a funny time to grow up. Yeah, that looks like something maybe iffy. It's getting closer. Oh, that's nice. So we actually got to bend that down a little bit more. And then probably hammer our ends a little whoopity warp. And then trim this piece. But that's looking fabulous. Hey Harold, thanks for the sticker, buddy. We just got it. Pretty sweet. P.O. box in the description if y'all want to send a sticker to see on the wall. Oh hey, I'm removing the hood hinges. I figured it'll give me more access up there. Oh yeah, real quick, I gotta apologize to DeWalt. I guess I bought a Chinese, off-brand, Japanese, whatever freaking DeWalt tool and it broke like rather quickly. So I apologize. A lot of y'all told me I should go check this out or that out or watch this or that, but a couple of you mentioned that well, DeWalt tools usually don't come apart with a Phillips screw and instantly. Light bulb. You're absolutely right. So, with that being said, my apologies. I didn't buy a junk tool from DeWalt that lasted exactly like 40 times. Wow, these are awfully nice. Can you believe 2 of the bolts are inside and one's out here for the hood latch? That's freaking crazy. Hey, another thing, I want to thank everybody. We have, you guys been killing it, guys, girls, and the government. Maybe the government. They're watching, so they probably bought something too. Either way, we appreciate all the support and all the shirts and stickers y'all have bought recently. You've been keeping the wifey busy. Thank you. Well, I saved y'all from watching me sand and scrape the window jamb. Look, they had a body shim for the hood bracket. That's smart. I gotta show you. I know it's nothing new, but all 3 freaking hood bolts are a different size. You see it? Little, medium, large. Huh. And they all got different freaking washers on them. Yeah, they look the same, but they're not. This has one fat one. This one has a lock washer and a skinny one. And this one has a lock washer and a real big one that's fat. This whole car, I mean, hey, the fella that put this car together, if he didn't do what he did, I'll tell you right now, this car probably wouldn't be here today. So even though he cobbled it together and he did what he could, and well, he put it back on the road, and I don't know if he ever drove it, but he at least tried. And I don't want you guys all to think there's anything wrong with what he did. I mean, yeah, it's not right, but did he technically get this thing back on the road and he was able to drive it for a few more years? Or was that what he was attempting? Either way, whether he was able to get it done and drive it before whatever, he saved it, because this thing wouldn't be here today if he didn't patch it up. Because, well, it was rotted out when he fixed it 30 years ago. Imagine what it would have been like if he didn't cake it all up and try to save on it. Yeah. So, I'm not ragging on the guy. I'm actually thanking the guy for what he did. And he was a freaking mastermind. Who could sculpt like... Oh, we got the air duct for the passenger side headlight that goes inside the fresh air. All freaking sanded. I think this is the second half of it. I feel like maybe this was out of a different car, because this one looks so much nicer than any of the other pieces. Oh look, more insulation. Nice. They really didn't want nothing to come in. So I'm gonna get this one all wire wheeled. Well, this one's gonna be way easier. I guess I'll try to wire wheel the inside a little bit. And well, we gotta spray these so they're ready, because we got so many little pieces to paint. We gotta do every little bit we can here and there. Otherwise, you're gonna do it all at once, and it'll be overwhelming. These things came out freaking awesome for what they were. At least I'm satisfied with it. And we got all the air duct sprayed and prepped and ready to go back on. Like I said, I think I'm going to spray some undercoating on them when the time comes. Probably just a cheap rattle can. Nothing crazy, just something to add to it. Same with the inner fenders. What we got to do is, goodness, this thing is. We got to cut these out and weld these things in today. We got to try to finish this little section up. Well, not finish it, but at least cut the nasty out. And weld in our new patch pieces that we made. I like these pieces. Look, they're round that way. They're round that way. They got some bends in them, a little whoopity there, a little whoopity up there. They look like small pieces, but there's quite a bit to them if you think about it. So just having that center section fixed up a little bit, that'll be a huge difference, huh? It'll take the eye to a new level, if you know what I'm saying. It won't look as bad because, well, the center of the firewall is actually rather solid. And if we can fix those spots, then we just really have to focus on one side and then the other side. Which this side, we already are ahead of the game because, well, we fixed that mount and this isn't all rotted out here. So we're getting there is what I'm trying to put down. All right, let me get cutting and grinding and all that fun stuff and dig out a lead cord and hook the welder up and find my welding helmet, and we got this. Well, you all know the name of the game by now. You can't just put fresh metal over rusty metal. You gotta cut your rusty metal out. Otherwise, that's just gonna keep rusting and rust your new metal away. So, with that being said, what do? Start with a marker. Or a sharp piece of metal that you can scratch your line in. It all depends on what your flavor is. Me, to be honest, I like a Sharpie, but I'll use just about anything in my reach. Now remember, when you cut your freaking line, you need to cut inside your black line. Otherwise your hole will be too big. Which, I mean, ain't no big deal. You can just fill the gap. But you don't want to cut on this side of the line, because then your piece is just going to freaking fall through and you'll have a gap around it. I like my gap nice and tight. Because as I'm burning, it's burning away the edge anyways and burning it in. I haven't had an issue. Everybody does stuff differently, so you do it your way. Or my best recommendation is to just try it. Try it 10 different ways, see which way you like the best, and then go with it. Or just randomly change things up so you know you don't get bored. Look at that. That freaking laid in there nice. So you just got to keep tacking and tacking and tacking and let it cool off. Or you could blow it off with an air hose or whatever. But I got a few of these to do. So I'll just keep tacking it. And then I'll work on the next one. And then I'll come back and tack some more. And so on until we're done. And then I don't really think you got to worry too much about warping this panel. Because, well, it's not very big. Like, I'm sure you could warp it in here. But it's got quite a bit of structure up here. And I don't know if you can see it, but the metal's a little pitted, but it's not burning through, so it must be thick enough. So I'm gonna get some more stuff cut out, and we're gonna get some more stuff welded. And I'll tell you what, just having that one piece on there looks freaking awesome. It's the little things that makes you happy, just to see less rust. And this has been staring me in the eye since we got the car. Like, not that it was worse than back there where, you know, the back windows were falling out and, well, we had to rebuild everything. But it was right in the front, like my window was gonna fall out, because I really thought this whole channel was rotted out. So we got to look at the plus side. It's not completely rotted out. Well, that's a little scary, but that'll be fun. We just have to build it in several pieces. Yeah, that's way better. Rusty, nasty pieces. Boo, fixed. Second one's in. It's amazing. That's all I got to say is it's amazing. Got to get this last one cut out. And we got to get her in. She's just happy. She's just happy to be worked on. Look at this dash. I absolutely love this dash. I wonder if we can get that working. Just keep dancing there, girl. We'll get you. Well, check it out. That piece fought me because this metal was, well, you can see it. It's a little more pitted up, so it's a little thinner than it was over there where it welded nicer, but, nice, right? It's way better. And we saved a bunch of money again. Hold on, we got one more. Right? I'm not going to sand them or grind the welds down and do finish work until we get a good majority up here, because there's lots of welding to be done. Lots of welding still to be done, so I figured there's no sense of mixing up filler for just that section. So we'll mix up some fiberglass filler when the time comes. And we did, hold on, 3 patches. 1, 2, 3. Oop, I don't know why I crossed that, so we're gonna have to add 2 on there. It'll be fine. We're up to 73, so that's pretty cool, I believe. We're not gonna double count it right now. And well, that's freaking awesome. That looks so much better. Just get these out of here and it'll look even better. You won't see them rusted pieces. That looks way better, huh? All right, a little filler and she'll be fine. What I'm trying to tell y'all is I'm out of time this week. I got to go edit this video so I can get it uploaded and everything for y'all by Thursday. Hey, we appreciate all the support. Don't forget, we got new stickers. Yeah, pretty sweet. Head on over to SquareMaxMerch.com and it'll be fine shirts. They're all back in stock. You guys bought them out a while ago. We're sorry it took us a little bit to get them back in stock, but they're back in stock and on the website. And for any order over $20, you get a free collector's magnet. Yeah, pretty sweet. No, you can't buy the freaking collector magnets. You gotta order. Only gotta spend 20 bucks or more, and we'll throw one of them in your order. We appreciate everything. SquareMaxMerch.com. Come back again for another week of 57 fun. Peace out. Rock on. Love y'all.